May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly market forecast. I am RT Money and I'm glad to see you. And we're going to give you some updates on the forecast that I did for the markets. All right. That would include the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the crude oil, gold, silver, platinum, and copper. All right. And that's what we're going to go over right now. Because Monday opened up kind of wacky, didn't it? All right. Let's start with the S&P. All right. We're looking at the futures now. We're looking at the futures, S&P futures, NASDAQ futures, and so on. All right. But you can follow along if you trading on CFDs. Now, what do we got? My forecast, I was looking for more upside. All right. More bullishness. All right. But the markets opened in a way with this gap. Oh man, it gapped all the way down here. Now, on TradingView in the futures, this candle is supposed to be white. You can tell by looking at the 12-hour, and you can see that I marked the opening here. All right, this was the first 12 hours. This is the second 12 hours of when it opened, and you can see it's white, but it should be a bullish candle. In either case, price pushed all the way up to close the huge opening gap. Now the gap came from the tariffs and Trump and starting this war, this starting a trade war. I don't know what he got going on, but hey, it caused uh, some chaos in the markets. All right. Now, the new candle for tomorrow, or it has already opened, of course, and it opened with a gap. This is the close, all right, and this is the open of the new candle, and it gapped up. All right. You see, price came down to close it, just like it closed. It immediately went to close the gap today, all of Monday. It closed the gap on Tuesday, and I was looking inside this candle to see where would price find support and maybe turn around and head up towards that buy side liquidity target I had pointed out. Well, what you do is you go down one time frame to the 4 hour and you look and you'll see, ha ha, we got a bullish fair value gap there. Look at that. All right. And this is what price could use to find its footing and go higher. And that's what I'm looking for. And when price comes into contact with this POI, this place of interest, I'll be looking on the lower time frames to see if price comes into it low, lower, lower high, lower low, and then a higher high. I'm looking for that market structure shift for when price pulls back. I can take a high probability trade to the upside because that is my bias. If it doesn't present itself, if it just continues to go on through, then there's no trade, and I just wait. All right, and what I would wait for is when this line gets crossed. When price starts trading below that line, then I'll start to think bearishly. All right, because that would be my protected low at that point, and I'd be thinking bearishly, especially if we get a break of market structure here. All right, so but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I am still bullish in this market. All right, and I'm encouraged. All right, if we go to the Nasdaq has the exact same scenario. All right, we got this black candle, which is usually bearish, but you see, market opened here and pushed higher, so it should be a white candle. I don't know what's going on with TradingView why it does that. So this is the new candle. I'm waiting. I'm looking inside of this candle here to see if we have anything that would stop price from going any lower. And if we go down to the 4 hour, we can see, oh, we got a bullish fair value gap. Price could use this bullish fair value gap to do the exact same thing. Come down here, find support, and shoot on, turn bullish and turn and continue to go towards those buy side liquidity targets that I had set earlier. Okay, this one has equal highs. That's going to be a very nice draw on liquidity. I'm looking for the same thing sorry, I didn't mean to go there. I'm looking for the same thing in the Dow. The Dow, which reminds me of something. All right, I'm gonna show you in a minute. Dow's respected the area of fair value up here. This order block up here, price pushed higher. Once it broke this, it's a market structure shift. I'm thinking that things are bullish, and that I'm looking for buys up until this area, this supply, this area of supply here, and price is respecting the discount arrays, pushing higher, and then we see the respect candle here, right? Uh, price price pushed down pretty hard here, and then that was Friday. This is Monday's candle. It opened up, and this one is white. Why is it white and the other ones are black? I don't know. All right, but it pushed up to close the opening gap, and now we have Tuesday's candle coming down. I'm looking inside the same way in this candle to see if price wants to give it some support for higher prices, and there is a bullish fair value gap on the 4 hour that price can use to push for higher prices. All right, I'm not going to trade this one, but I want to point something out for you. There is an SMT, smart money technique. This is a divergence between the indices. You see, this low was taken by the Dow. The S&P, the low, same low, was taken by the S&P. NASDAQ had a different plan. It did not take that low. All right. What does this mean? All right. Does it mean that we're going higher? Which one is stronger? Which one is stronger? Which one is moving that looks more bullish? The one that looks more bullish is the one I would prefer between the NASDAQ and the S&P. The one I would prefer to take a long from. Which one is closer to the buy side liquidity? It seems to be pretty obvious, right? So, and then we also have the structure, like that I pointed out, the fair value gaps that will allow price an area to find support and push higher to the buy side liquidity. I would take the S&P it before I take the Nasdaq because the S&P is a little stronger. If we look at the at crude oil, this one was simple. You see, I have the this trading range. The trading range. We took out a very important high where there was lots of buy side liquidity. Price took that out, and you expect it to do what it actually did, which is pull back, go into retracement. Retracing into what? An area like this one. This is an area of consolidation, but it's an order block. It's a bullish order block. And price is finding some support here. Now, this candle is today's candle. It gapped up a little bit, gapped up, and then pushed down back into the this area of fair value. Will it hold? I don't know. There is a bullish fair value gap on the daily right below it. Price could very well take out this low, sweep this low, and find its footing and move higher. But I tell you that I can't tell you which way the U.S. oil is going to go. I don't know because of Trump and he things are a little chaotic right now, and it'll be affecting oil prices because Canada is on his hit list. So we'll see what happens here, but uh, we may see some higher prices from here, and I'm going to keep my eye on it. Not my favorite market to mess with right now because things are so chaotic fundamentally. All right, gold, gold still heading up. Gold is still pretty strong. You see, it ended up in a doji for the day, a big old doji, right? And then we have the Tuesday candle opening up kind of small. Um, because price took out this all-time high, we're at all-time highs. I'm expecting it to turn over pretty soon. Uh, that's the thing about going into all-time highs. You have nothing to look back to the left, back in time to gauge it to, gauge against it, and so you're kind of winging it. As price moves up, once it gives me something like a market structure shift or a break of structure, uh, then I have something I can work with. All right, if price breaks this high here, I'm looking for it to pull back into an area of demand that I can take price higher, and trade with the trend, the prevailing trend. But I don't have that right now. Right now, we're going into consolidation, and I'll wait till there is some obvious market structure shift before I go any further with this one. All right. But if we go down to the 4 hour, do we have anything in place? Yes, there was a market structure shift here, here. There was a break here. Price pull is pulling back into what? A 4 hour uh, fair value gap. I could see uh, prices finding support there to go higher. I will go to the 1 hour and then down to the 15 minute or 5 minute and look for entries. If once price starts to do a little dance here, and we are dancing, so I'll be looking for that in the morning. Yes, I will. And silver, uh, we are in this range here. Let me see how much time I got left here. All right. You see how price is respecting on the daily is I was looking for price to come into that was the Friday candle. I was looking for price to come into this fair value gap. Right. It was a fair value gap here, as legit as it comes. All right. And what did price do? Let me get that fair value gap there. Thank you. All right. What did price do? Price came down to it, and you see where it closed up here. The fair value gap held, even though you see it probed past that fair value gap and into an order block here on the 4 hour. The fair value gap held, and as long as I see that, I'm looking for higher prices in silver. Yeah, yeah, and I like silver. It's weaker than gold, but it hasn't reached the buy side liquidity objective yet. So there's room for profit here, safe profit. I don't want to get you don't want to enter trades in an uptrend. You don't want to enter trades when it gets here. You know, when it gets to its objective, you want to catch it when it's pulling back. All right, this is where you want to get so you can get that profit. All right, all right. So that's what the plan is for that. This is platinum, and you can see we had a legitimate uh, break of structure there. We took the liquidity up there, but you see price traded through to what? To this bearish fair value gap. And you see what the reaction was, the rejection candle there. All right. And but it rejected into a big old bullish fair value gap. We could very well see. You see how it came down to the consummate encroachment, the 50% of this fair value gap. We could very well see price find its footing here and go for higher prices, or price goes back into the fair value gap that it may create here, the potential is there for price to push up and then continue down using that bearish fair value gap as a you know to as resistance to seek lower prices. There's these lows to think about, but with the U.S. dollar gaining some kind of strength or becoming weak, that'll help to determine which way this goes. All right, and right now, if we look at the just quickly glance at the U.S. dollar, it's respecting the bearish huge weekly and monthly order block up here. All right, this area that I've been talking about for over a month. Once price hit that, it breaks structure to the downside, and we pushed up with this Monday opening candle, and it just looks crazy. It looked crazy. It looked like it was going to pop all the way through, but I'm glad it didn't because it allows my forecast to stand. And I'm looking for lower prices in the U.S. dollar. I'm looking for it to turn over. So while that is weak, I do not expect that we'll see um, uh, lower prices with platinum. I do believe that we should see price hold here and continue higher, just like with the silver. I think that we're going to go higher, just like with gold. I do think we're going to go higher. All right. If we look at copper, copper is on the same path, but copper's what do you call it? The price action here. I already gave you the full forecast. I'll leave a link for you so that you can see the full forecast. But uh, you can see that price pushed higher here, breaking structure to the upside and pulling back into this bullish leg. And you always look for the area of fair value that price could find support for higher prices. And that area of fair value was there. All right. This is an order block here, right? But right above it, which is what you want to see by any order block, is this displacement, which leaves a fair value gap. You don't see any closes below this fair value gap. The fair value gap held. Yes, price did probe past it, but it didn't close past it. This is telling you that this was a strong fair value gap. And the fact that there was an order block below this, price mitigated it and pushed up higher. These are the things that I look for. All right. In the absence of a fair value gap, I'm always looking at order blocks or areas of demand, areas of supply. All right. In the absence of it, and especially when we get down to, I start to use those more when we get down to the 4 hour time frame. Now, if we go down to 4 hour time frame on copper, you can see, move that fair value gap, that this order block was tapped once, tapped two times, and then you see that price is pushing higher. I'm looking at this as the draw on liquidity. That is a liquidity high there, and we're about to take that. The next one would be here, and I do believe that we will reach this one by the end of the week. And why am I picking this random high up there? It's because higher high, higher low, right? What do we got? We got these lows, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we have a higher high, right? A higher high. I'm looking for that higher low for the next higher high. That is why it is a buy side liquidity target. I'm looking for price to climb higher. Okay. That's it. I appreciate you watching, and make sure you hit the links that I'm going to leave for you.